Hello there! It's been a while since I've done one of these. I know I've put out a lot of splits lately, and the videos that I've shot for them haven't been shot. They've been little black and white, quick to the point video clips with a bunch of numbers and letters. So I thought about trolling you guys on this video and just doing the whole thing with a bunch of placards with words written on it, but probably would have been too long. Anyways, a lot of you have asked me to do another one of these content videos. You know, enough split videos for now. I don't really consider myself a reviewer, so to speak. I never have. This has always been primarily a split channel. But I do like to mix in these content videos, offer some thoughts on juice and things like that, see if I can help anybody out, find something new. And I have strayed from the countdown videos because I think they can be a little too arbitrary. But this is... figured I'd throw you a bone. I've thought about doing this one myself for a while and finally came to a list. The top 5 niche brands. Now this is strictly in my opinion. This only encompasses lines that I have tried. And the brands that are on this list are ones that I have tried extensively, either the entire line or most of it. So there are at the end some honorable mentions. Ones that could, if I were to do this list sometime down the road, very well could crack into that list. Now, things you're not going to see on this list of top 5. So if you are a fan of these houses and looking for them, turn it off and go somewhere else because you're not going to find it. On this list, you will not find Bond, you will not find Creed, and you will not find Amouage. So the ABC of niche fragrances. I think I just coined that term. They are not on this list for their own reasons, which if you follow my channel, you may have some insight into, and you follow my posts on Facebook and some of the forums, you'll understand my insight into them. They have their own issues, but they have some good juice, but they don't deserve, in my view, to be on this list. So, let's get into it. Number 5. This one, many of you know this, the House of Montauk, the aluminum bottle. Now, the reason this is number 5 and not higher is because they have too many juices. That's also my main complaint with Bond, is there's too many in the line. They have something like, they have over 70 bottles, and so does Bond. I think Montauk might even have more than that. A lot. Way too many. And many of them are redundant. However, they do have a lot of really good juice. So if you can kind of weed through the ones that are, very similar to another, you can find something real good. Like this one, Full Incense. Get rid of this thing. It makes too much noise. A really, really well done church incense scent. Excellent. Not too far off from Comme des Garçons Incense Avion. Very similar. I do prefer this one, but really they're kind of interchangeable. A lot of people know Montauk for their ouds. That is, a main thrust of their line is the ouds. But I would encourage you to look at their non-ouds as well. This one, something like a Greyland. If you're a sweet tooth, try Chocolate Greedy. A really good line. And price, for a niche brand, their prices are pretty good. A 100 milliliter bottle will run you 160 bucks. And you can even find it a lot cheaper than that. So, good juice, good line here. If you can find your way through some of the crappier ones. Number 5, Montauk. Number 4, Uncle Serge, Serge Lutens. Now, he makes some of the best juice you're going to find out there. Well, not him, but the juice you're going to find in this line is excellent. It is really good. The problem with it is it's a little too specific. You can make the same case about Montauk too. But this one a little bit more so. They stick far too much to the very thick, heavy scents, like this one, which I have no idea how to pronounce, but it is really good. It's called Filet and Aiguilles. Other ones, Chergui, 5 o'clock Eau Gingembre, Ombre Sultan. Really good juice, but genre specific. Nonetheless, a great line. If you have not tried any of them, definitely do so, unless you only like really fresh, fruity, citrus scents. You're not going to really find too many. They have one or two, but they're not the best. They stick to what they do best, and that's these kind of scents. This one smells like, it smells like pine needles and burning leaves. If like me and you're from New England in the fall, the smell of the leaves on the ground, that's what this smells like. It's great. Number 4, Surge. Now, number 3, a lot of you who have followed this channel since I started might be shocked to see what's here. But Tom Ford, number 3. Many of you know that I have split these bottles ad nauseum, and that I've been a huge fan of this line for a very long time, and I still am. However, he is knocked down on this list because of things like this. Japon Noir. You can't buy this anymore because he discontinued it. And he replaced it with garbage. His releases over the last 2 years or so have been generally garbage. He's replaced extraordinary juice like this one, like an Amber Absolute, like a Bois Rouge, with garbage, like the Jardin Noir line, of which only one of them is halfway decent and the other 3 are crap. Now, I'm only speaking with the private blends. I'm not going into his signatures, so with respect to this ranking. He does have 4 new ones coming out. I did make that really bad video about that. So we'll see. They're not here yet. Supposedly July. I don't know. But of late, his private blend releases have been very, very bad, by and large. So if we were just looking at the original 12 private blends, then he'd be way up there. He'd probably be tied with number 1. But there's more now. He's released a lot more of late that really have been very subpar. So I'm hoping that the line can recover a little bit. We'll see. Apparently he's got another line coming out after the Atelier d'Orient. Apparently he's got an oud line. Who knows? But he keeps getting rid of the good juice and replacing it with bad ones. So, Tom Ford, number 3, the private blend line. Now, the top 2, you are going to see a similarity here. Something that I look for, and one of the reasons why I love fragrance so much and why I consider it an art is the personal aspect of it. Somebody who makes their own juice and puts their name on it. It's like an artist. An artist paints a painting and signs it. And to me, I feel like when you make something yourself and you put your name on it, you're going to put that much more effort into it to make sure that the product is top quality, to make sure that it's right, as opposed to if you outsource it to somebody else. You know, you have some perfumer do it for you, which some people, making fragrances is such a scientific aspect to it that it's not easy. It's not something that everybody does. But to my nose, the best juices that I have found have been from those who make their own and put their name on it. With that being said, number 2, Tower. Now, I kind of go against the grain because the one that he is most known for in this community is L'Art du Desert Marocain. That's the one that gets the most hype, gets the most press, and it's actually one of my least favorites. This is Incense Extreme, however you want to pronounce it. It's really good juice. These are just very unique, Very well done, very personal. You can tell that Andy puts a lot of work into these. Hell, he signs every bottle that he produces. There's a little card in each of the bottles that he signs. He just does a great job with this. The reason this is not number one is if you've smelled a bunch of towers, you know that there's kind of that note. It's kind of like this little candied, citrus-ish note. It's not very... It's a bad way to describe it, but I like to think of it as that tower note. If you've smelled a lot of towers, you probably have a sense of what I'm talking about. It's a little bit too prominent in a lot of his juices. Not all of them. But he strayed from that a little bit, then maybe you could bump up to number one. But great house. If you've not tried them, do so. The juice is excellent. Now, number one, you probably could figure out who this is. I've not found a line out there that by and large, top to bottom, is any better than this, and I will argue with you ad nauseum if you think you have something better. And that is Mr. Kirk Shawn. He calls himself a master perfumer, and he is that. This juice is extraordinary. Crap. My battery's about to die, so hold on one second. Never a dull moment in these videos, huh? Alrighty, hold on. Success. Alright, now where were we? Oh, jeez. Kicking the cord around. I don't have video editing software. I was a film student, and I don't have video editing software. I don't know how that happened. So it's just easier to do these in one take. And those little noises were my phone battery telling me that it was low. Anyways, Kirk Shawn. Top to bottom, this line is just plain good. Great. There's virtually not a stinker in the line. The only two that I really don't like are the cologne concentrations of this and the Absolu pour le matin, or matin, however you pronounce that. Simply because I don't think they're really necessary. Just get this. It's better. It lasts longer. It's more or less the same thing. Very, very slightly different. This one is my favorite from the line, Pour le Soir. Just wonderful juice. I've described this in a few other videos, that wearing a Kirk Shawn feels like you're wearing fine china. And it really... I've not come up with a better description for it. They are so well done. You can sense the quality there. You can sense the attention to detail that he puts into these juices. He makes all of it himself, and it's just a great experience to wear one of his juices. They're good. So I would highly encourage you, if you've not tried one, definitely do so. The line is fairly wide-ranging. You can get just about anything. This one is more of an evening wear, going out kind of thing. He has plenty of day scents, plenty of work scents. And unlike a lot of other houses, there's really not a bad one. There's not one or two or three or four that stick out as like, just don't try it. Even if you got the cologne concentrations of this, they're good. It's a good fragrance. It smells more or less the same as this. It's just concentrated so low that it doesn't last very long. So it's not a matter of smell. It's a matter of, it's not exactly the same, but close enough. But I couldn't tell you one that I would say, don't try that. It's not worth your time. It's not very good. It smells bad, or it's, poorly made. No. So, in my view, my humble opinion, this is the best niche juice you're going to find out there. Top to bottom, this house. Kirk Shawn. Now, I had said there were some honorable mentions here. A few, actually. And primarily this is because I haven't tried enough from these houses. Well, actually, that's not true for all of them. But there's three I'm going to bring up. First one here is Naomi Good. This is an Australian house. This is the only one I own from the line. This is Bois d'Assesse. My wonderful French shows through again. Great scent. Really good. This one smells like burning firewood. I grew up on that smell. All the houses in my neighborhood around where I grew up had wood stoves. We didn't, but you know, that smell that emanates from a wood stove, you can smell it all throughout the neighborhood, and it's just, oh, I love it. So I bought this because moving away to California as I am, I'm not going to have that smell anymore. So I bought this so I would have it. And it's also a great scent to wear. It wears really well on the skin. I've tried the other one from this line. It's called Queer Velours. Also, excellent, great juice. The reason why this one's not in the list is because those are the only two available from the house right now. There's only two. So, not enough of a sample to be able to crack into a list like this, but definitely worth checking out. Very good juice here. They have it at Min, they have it at Lucky Scent. As far as I know, they're not in any department stores or anything like that, or any of the upscale stores. Those are the only two that I know that carry the line. But very good juice. A little pricey, but very, very good. You get your money's worth out of it. So if they come out with anything else, I would absolutely be interested in trying it. So worth a look. Next one. I've split a couple of these recently. I've just recently discovered this line. This is Atelier Cologne. Now, I have to make a mea culpa. I had a guy a while back who's, I hope he's still a subscriber, who always, when I would put out a subscriber's choice to, or solicit ideas for a new split, he would always say Orange Sanguine. And he was the only one who would ever suggest this. And I hope you're watching this video right now, because I admit I don't remember who it was. I tried to find the name, tried to find some of your comments, but I couldn't. You were right. You were really, really right. This by itself, excellent juice. Really good. I also had split Rose Anonyme, another really good one. This is a great line. They're a little bit... It's tough for me to sample them because they don't sell it here in Boston. I had to buy one out in Las Vegas, and I ordered this one off the internet blind. So I did have to kind of take a few shots in the dark. But I have looked into it a little bit more. It does seem like a few of them are a little redundant. They like the neroli. Every one of their scents has neroli in it, practically. So if you like neroli, try this line. And the price on these are real good. You can get this 200 milliliter bottle. The juice is under $1 a milliliter. It's insane how, for the quality of the juice you get, the price you pay is it's the best deal going anywhere. So I would highly recommend you try this line. I've only tried this, the Rose Anonyme, and I have a decant of Grand Neroli somewhere. I tried one or two in the store when I bought it out in Vegas. Real quick, just on a paper for like 2 seconds, so it's really not a good impression. So I haven't tried enough to be able to, you know, throw it into this list of top 5, but I do want to try out many more of these, and if I were to do another one of these lists down the road, this guy could be on there. So check it out. And Orange Sanguine guy, you were right. You were very right. Finally, the last one is by Rito. Now, this house. I've tried a bunch of these, more so definitely than the other two honorable mentions. And I've waffled on this line a lot because at first I wasn't a big fan. And I tried a few more of them, and really the best way I can put it is these are really weird. They're just very odd. Not... it's difficult to describe, but they're good for the most part. There's a couple that aren't great. I have not tried the whole line, so that's why I did feel comfortable putting this as an honorable mention, because there's probably a good 8 or 10 more that I really haven't tried. So I'm definitely interested in looking into it more, and you should be too. These are interesting, to say the least. If you're just looking for something kind of off the beaten path, take a look at this house. Again, not cheap. Again, but this is a niche video. Yeah, it's a weird... It's almost kind of like it. I want to say it's a hipster-ish sort of line, like it reminds you of a hipster. It's sort of different for the sake of being different. It's not a great way to describe it, but it's not that far off. It's very eclectic. So, they are only available at Barney's in the U.S. Abroad, I don't know where you can find them abroad, but in the U.S. only at Barney's. So they're not widely distributed, but they're good. They kind of grow on you a little bit. So that's that. This one's Pulp. It's my favorite of the two that I own. I have Oud Immortel, which is another one that I split. So give it a shot. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. They're not for everybody. But it's worth a look. So that's that. I'm sure some of you will disagree with me. Probably a lot of you will disagree with me. All the ABC fans, and I'm sure some Killian fans will chime in. I do like juices from those houses. I'm not discriminating against them. And certainly if you're a fan of them, you have every right to be. And I'm sure your opinions are very valid as to why you like them. It's just my preference. Let me know what you think, though. Hopefully I can open your eyes to a few new brands that maybe you haven't looked into too much. A couple of those in there weren't... none of them were really off the wall, really, really hard to find lines, but some of them are not as popular in the community. So that's that. I will be continuing the splits. There's more to come. I do have Amyris open right now from this guy, Amyris. It's a great juice for this time of year, for the warm weather. And whatever you do, don't believe the reviews that you read out there, at least not all of them. There's somebody who's going around on all of the review sites and saying that Amyris smells like Aqua de Jo. And whoever that is an idiot. Just keep this PG. It does not smell like Aqua de Jo at all. So, if you've not tried it, it's a really good fragrance. Worth getting into the split if you so choose. I'll have more to come. I also, as I said, I am moving, and I have a lot of bottles that would need to be shipped, some of which I don't use anymore, so I will be putting up some of them for sale, niche bottles. I haven't decided which ones yet. Certainly none of the ones you see right here, none of them, and in fact none of them from, I don't think any of those houses I'm going to put up for sale, because I really do use those a lot. I use those Kirk Shawns like crazy. But I will have some up for sale. I will put a video up. I also have a few samples. I have a lot of samples. I have so many freaking samples. Most of which I'm just going to end up giving away with purchases and things. Some of them I will sell, either because I personally bought them or I decanted them out of another bottle of mine and the juice is actually worth a good deal of money, and I'm not just going to give it away by itself. However, I have like 2 bags full of them in there. A whole buttload of them I'm going to be giving away with purchases and however else I do it. Because I do need to downsize a little bit before I go. Let's see what else. I think that's it. More to come. If you have any ideas for new splits, please let me know. I'm at a bit of a... Do I have my little book around here? Yeah, I do. A book of splits here. I'm kind of at a bit of an impasse of what I want to do next. So if you have any good ideas, things you've tried that I haven't discussed, or something I may have overlooked, please let me know. That's how I've come into a lot of these juices. I was a good friend of mine on here told me that I should try Lumiere Noir from Kirk Shawn. I thought nothing of it when I saw it in the store one time, tried it again, realized he was right, continued with the house, and here we are, number 1. So a lot of your recommendations end up being real good choices. So give me them if you have them. So that's that. Let me know your opinions, and I will see you soon. Bye.